Welcome back to the yellow track for the 2019 JRDA Championship Tournament, brought to you on the WFTDA's Twitch.tv channel. I am Scott Chicken, joined by Thunder Dill. Dill, how's your day gone?
My day is going really good. We had a game early in the morning, so my voice, you'll have to bear with me. But other than that, everything's going really good.
Right on. Well, we are here to see the number 1 seed Santa Cruz Derby Gromshells take on the number 4 seed Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls, a rematch of last year's championship game, this year in the semifinal. You want to walk us through Santa Cruz's roster?
Sure. The Santa Cruz Derby Groms, 0-0, Mini Mayhem, 101, BZ, 15, Bonnie and Collide, 152, Mocking Jam, 19, Loose Cannon, 26, Little Killa, 30, Swervy, 304, Ella Delaney, 376, Crom Bomb, 44, Sorry Not Sorry. I like that name, Canadian
That's
announcer,
good.
so that will work for me. 53, Sugar Smacks, 62, Tryin, 72, Pain Jane, 80, Sunkissed, and number 90, Yeety.
Yeety. I do like that one as well. Skating in white, your Galaxy Girls for Seattle Derby Brats, number 10, M. Norberg, 1,000 is Deathina, and 180, Rival E, 19, Bantam Phantom, 21, the Iron Rabbit, number 23, Afro Jamurai, 2,700, Filipina Fire, number 333, Alexis of Evil, 54 is Go-Go, 700, Toe Jammer, 713, Nail Her Swift, 722, A. Rashid, 789 is 7 Skate 9, 800, Bruno Scars, and number 911, Annihilate Her. And we are starting with number 62 jamming against number 180, Rival E with the star for the
quick lead out front here for Santa Cruz for Tryin.
Yes, but Rival E right behind, and Rival E thought they had the lane on the inside. Tryin's like, nope, I'm going to take that from the outside.
Seattle starting off with some hijinks, fielding 2 jammers, pulling one off.
Yes, they do like them some hijinks occasionally. They've had us numerous different setups this yesterday in their game against Rose City. Santa Cruz off to the early lead, 3-0. Now, these teams did meet earlier this year at the Big O, with Santa Cruz taking the win. What was that? Let's see, 210-83. We will see how that goes today in the rematch.
Always said I'm a huge fan when you get to see teams at this level who have already played each other this year. The familiarity leads to, I think, a smarter game. You get to see those adjustments. We got a forearm coming here to the Seattle Jammer.
Yes, Bruno Scars picking up the forearm. BZ jamming for Santa Cruz and is your lead jammer. Bruno started to take the long route around and then realized, wait, I could go back and go the other way. And Bruno joined by the pivot, number 700, Toe Jammer. So 2 skaters down early on. And BZ threw quickly for 4.
Seattle having a bit of a tough time setting up that pack, but they do set up and make the catch there in the back.
And BZ forced to recycle back towards the back of the pack, now swerving through, and again just bumped out.
Bruno Scars released from the penalty box, yeah.
Exactly, penalty kill, perfect. Gave up one pass, but
you'll live with it.
It's going to happen, exactly. It wasn't 4, so that's a win. BZ knocked to the ground. Bruno forced out of bounds. Still on the initial pass. Toe Jammer now back in.
We've got a Santa Cruz blocker going to the box.
Oh, and Santa Cruz again with that waterfall. Just always having somebody right in the way where they need to be.
2 great pirouettes there on the line by Bruno Scars to get out.
And 4 more up for BZ. 8 total on the jam. Will take us to an 11-0 score. And Swervy now out to jam against the Iron Rabbit.
4-3 pack here. Seattle does have the advantage. They'll be looking to turn this into a lead.
Swervy plowing into Norberg, and yes, the Iron Rabbit, first lead jammer of the game. Iron Rabbit also plays for Mob City, and in yesterday's game, she had the first lead for them as well.
It was a very exciting lead designation there, because just as she busted out of the pack, a kneecap also squirted off and flew out.
Gotta love the parts of equipment that go flying in this sport.
Make sure to go to the S1 booth, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Iron Rabbit on the scoring pass, but forced out. Meanwhile, Swervy held up at the front Excellent work with 3 blockers at the front. Now Norberg spinning off to almost bridge, but now back. Swerby again fighting and finally clears out. Iron Rabbit rolling back, calls off the jam. Rabbit did collect all 4 points, but again, that Santa Cruz defense really good at the waterfall to the front. You may have passed everybody, but you're still not getting out of the pack. Limit you to 1 run through. So 11-4 is our current score.
We've got Tryon back out on the jam line here in Jam 4. He's out in Jam 1 for Santa Cruz. And then 54 Go-Go up for Seattle. 1 blocker in the box to start for Seattle here. Oh, and a nice lead on the outside line there for Tryon.
Tryon now perfect on lead jammer. Jam twice, lead twice, and a nice opening of the door by Yeedy. Knocking Deathina out of the way. So we got Go-Go sent to the penalty box. So power jam for Tryon. Galaxy Girls back to full strength as Amilade Her comes out of the penalty box.
Santa Cruz blockers out front there on this power jam had some interesting hand signals where they're almost kind of like butterflying with their hands. I'll have to find out what that's about.
Yeah. Got to have codes. I like the waving to the one side, like I want you to sweep that way. Or we had a jammer at my adult league, Jet City, who used to just like scream at the pad, just a random screamy noise when she wanted the offense to come. That was a little disconcerting, but still fun to watch. Tryon is through, 4 points up.
Ooh, we've got another penalty coming here to the Seattle Jammer.
Go back to the box. I think that second one was a cut. Didn't catch the first. And I'm seeing 0-0 mini mayhem for Santa Cruz heading to the box. So 4-on-3 advantage right now in the pack.
This is now the 3rd jammer penalty for Seattle. The defense is being very resilient, right? You're not seeing double-digit scoring, even though they've given up those 3 jammer penalties.
And holding up this time, only 3 on the board, so a 7 takes us to 18-4. Go-Go will carry forward and start in the box. And we got number 101, BZ, back out. Four-on-3 pack advantage for the Galaxy Girls as Minnie Mayhem still sitting in the penalty box. BZ going airborne. Beautiful jump. Using the height and the power of the legs to take to full advantage to go over the top. This time, though, stopped on the outside and forced out of bounds and rolled back as Go-Go is out of the penalty box and also struggling to get through. Santa Cruz has a solid lockdown defense. Just very good with the tripod and very good with the swirling. Now sending Minnie Mayhem out of the box and forward to play some offense. Forearm penalty called on Lil Killa. 7 skate 9 rolling back thinking, hey, maybe I got a cut, but not the case according to the referees as BZ. Still moving, and now 7 skate 9 picking up a forearm penalty, so we're down to even in the pack, 3-on-3. And BZ finally out with 4 points, a full minute into the jam. Go-Go trapped at the back. Norberg rolling in, and BZ finally says, that's enough of that, I'm calling off the jam.
Yeah, smart move by Santa Cruz. You want to call the jam there because your jammer's tired, but if you call in that moment, even though the opposing jammer's on initial, you're setting up pack advantage for the next jam, right?
Exactly.
And Santa Cruz, their game plan for today is going to be so focused in this game on lead control. If you have pack advantage consistently, you're most likely going to continue to control lead.
Exactly, and looking ahead to the tournament, your goal here, win the game, move on to the final against the winner of our game going on the other track right now, Jacksonville versus Los Anarchists. Loser will play for third. And as far as next year's tournament goes, with the change to the ranking systems this year, any game today doesn't matter for next year's invitations. So no need to crank up the score. Just keep control and lock things down.
Lead for Payne Jane of Santa Cruz. That's her first jam of the game and the lead. So great work so far. Seattle Jammer is out of the pack, though.
Yes, Bruno Scars out and penalty free at this point.
Oh, did
Swings
she
around.
steal?
I see 2 fingers up. And 4 for Payne Jane. Takes us to 28-6.
Great steal there by Bruno Scars. That's why you skate hard until the last whistle.
Rival E back out to jam against number 62, Tryon. Both teams at full, Galaxy Girls down 1 blocker. And Tryon slices up the outside to grab lead.
3 for 3 on lead now for trying so far in this game.
Yes. Santa Cruz has had lead all but 1 jam of the game. And Tryon through with 4.
Santa Cruz is going to lose a blocker to the box, though. Joining the 2 blockers from Seattle that are in. Yes. Seattle Jammer now out of the pack.
Bonnie and Collide picking up the penalty on that call. But jam called off with Deathina and 7 Skate 9 still in the penalty box, so it'll be a 3-on-2 advantage as the Iron Rabbit back out to jam. Iron Rabbit has had the only lead jam call for Galaxy this game.
Galaxy Girls coach Dylan Botts out there talking to the head ref, looking for clarification after that jam.
And we are getting a relief jammer, or blocker rather, out of the box, so back to even 3-on-3. As BZ pushes through the front, lead jammer Santa Cruz, the Iron Rabbit, out a quarter track behind. Forearm penalty sends Toe Jammer to the penalty box. BZ grabs some points and calls off.
Then we got a timeout coming for Seattle.
And that's a good time to mention our officials. Our officials for this game: Montana Malher, 3, Jinja Ninja, Ultraviolent Blue, Smarkamides, Ice Pack Shakur, Melanie, Zombie Dearest, Breakania, Nacho. We've also got Stowe Nasty, Rockstar, Dilligaff, Ninja, Killakey, Scooby Don't, Honey Badger, and Guinness. Or Guinness. Or Giannis. I should really ask and figure out how to pronounce that. I'm just going to roll through all of them until the Twitch TV audience lets me know which is the correct pronunciation.
I like how my favorite NSO on this list is listed twice.
Yes.
Montana Malher.
You like Montana Malher?
One of my favorite NSOs in all of roller derby.
Well, thank you for watching us on twitch.tv, WFTDA's channel. WFTDA helping with the streaming for this tournament this year and last. And don't forget, you've got your international WFTDA playoffs and the cups coming up, and you can get a discount on the Watch Pass. Just go to WFTDA.tv, click on the Watch Pass, and enter the code WFTDA Roby Doby.
That is actually the code.
That's actually the code.
Okay.
Roby Doby. Save you 20%. Hey, look, there's jamming and swervy and lead jamming. Nail Her Swift jamming for the first time for the Galaxy Girls, deposited out of bounds as Swervy threw quickly for 4.
Great offense there by the Seattle blocker. Looks like 3-3-3 Alexis of Evil to drop back and get her jammer release there.
Yes, and then some offense coming from, I believe, Lil Killa, knocking Norberg down as we did break Naylor Swift free, not Naylor Free Swift. That wouldn't make any sense. However, Jam called off a 7-point run for Santa Cruz, taking them to 43. Seattle held at 6.
Pack advantage start here for Seattle.
Bruno Scars going up against Tryon.
Oh, amazing.
And
the lead.
Yes, Bruno is through and has lead as Tryon bumped to the outside, but the blocker going down. However, reabsorbed now. Bruno Scars coming into the pack and working on the point-scoring run. Tryon Filipina Fire holds up and forces out of bounds. Bruno is through for 4 points.
Excellent footwork to stay in bounds there by Bruno.
Just a reminder, if you're watching roller derby for the first time in a year. No more jammer lap point. And 4 more for Bruno Scars. As Tryon still held up. Galaxy Girls water falling to the front. Bruno taking a shot and deposited to the middle of the track.
Big
Coach,
hit by Mocking Jam
yeah.
on Santa Cruz. Yep.
Dilly says, Tryon's out. You might as well call off the jam. Yep. 8-point run takes us to 43-14. And we reset. BZ set to jam against number 21, the Iron Rabbit.
Empty penalty box to start this jam, so we got 4 aside.
Slow start coming as the Iron Rabbit trapped up, and BZ steps out the front.
Little Killer going to the box now for Santa Cruz.
And BZ forced out and recycled back. 7 skate 9 up to help with the offense, and BZ gets around the back end and through quickly.
Seattle got a little bit too ambitious with that drawback. That's one thing that you never want to see. You go too far, you get called out of play. Now that jammer's back in with speed,
Yep.
and you're not there with your wall, right?
So this time Seattle staying up to the front and a force out and slight roll back around the outside. And BZ back in and through for 4. Star pass off. Now 7 skate 9. Picks up the star. No points awarded. 51-14.
2 passes
These are
there
score-
for BZ, where Seattle was so focused on trying to draw that cut, it opened up the space for her. So if you're on the Seattle bench, you're kind of hoping that they realize that that's happening, make those drawbacks just a little bit shorter, and get tighter, get the formation together every single time that BZ's re-entering the track.
180 rivalry jamming for the Galaxy Girls. And number 72, that is Payne Jane, but Rival E is your lead jammer. Payne Jane held up. Rival E back engaged on the scoring run and spun around, somehow stays in bounds and finds through him on the inside to grab 4 points. A. Rashid heads to the penalty box to join Mini Mayhem. Mini Mayhem for Santa Cruz standing and on the way out. Toe Jammer also reporting as Payne Jane clears the pack. Rival E forced out of bounds. Going to let the jam run long. The 2 blockers in the box.
Seattle also does need to score, too. 55-18,
Exactly.
you got to put points on the board.
Yep, Payne Jane picks up 4. Rival E checks with the bench. Bench says, nope, keep going. We still have two in the box, 1 standing. Payne Jane held up by Afro Jamurai. Deathina on the bridge. Now Rashid bumped out as Rival is forced out of bounds. Calls off the jam. 3 points more for Seattle, an 8-7 jam win for the Santa Cruz Derby grounds. Thank you for tuning in here on twitch.tv, WFTDA's channel. If you like what you're seeing, there will be more free games from the WFTDA postseason right here on Twitch. So head to WFTDA.tv to check out your options there.
Looked like a quick lead on the inside line there for trying, but no, it was a track cut, so we will get a power jam for Seattle and for Go-Go.
It's amazing how they don't let you just cut across the track. It's weird. Go-Go forced out and rolled back. Now some offensive sweep coming, but Lil Killa right there, and Lil Killa does not move. I have seen all sorts of players hit Lil Killa and just never budges. Does move to go to the penalty box for that call, but a solid defensive force to be reckoned with. Go-Go now with lead.
Only 2 blockers on the track for Santa Cruz, too, so you want to get her in quick as possible. Take full advantage.
It's indeed as Tryon out of the box and back engaged with a tripod at the back of the pack. Toe Jammer offering some offensive assistance to Gogo. Gogo grabs 4, trying through. Gogo calls off the jam. 59-26 now. Stars handed off to the Iron Rabbit for Seattle, and BZ coming out to jam for Santa Cruz.
20 points in the last 4 jams here for Seattle. Making a little run after adjusting through the first 10 jams. Saw this in the exact same game that I called last night with Foco and Duval. It was like 53-4, and then Foco went on a huge run.
Foco did have a good shot, and speaking of good shots, a wide open lane on the outside, full-on offense coming from the Seattle squad. Grabs lead jammer for the Iron Rabbit.
Little Killa back to the penalty box for Santa Cruz.
So that's at least 2 for Lil Killa. We'll see at the halftime what the penalty call is. Some of these games, I was just doing the Tampa game on the other side and really would have loved to have a digital whiteboard because there were like 28 and 27 penalties in the first half.
Yeah.
So BZ again knocked down and locked down. Spins. Did the fit go out? Yes, they did, and she knew it. Oh, no, and no pass, no penalty called. So BZ is broken free. Wait, sorry, no.
Psych. That's a heartbreaker.
That is horror. Oh, that's rough.
Yep.
BZ sitting, Mini Mayhem sitting as well, and the Iron Rabbit calls off the jam. Did get all 4 points. A hard fought for Seattle. So now a 29-point game, 59-30. And Rival E out to take the power start.
Santa Cruz going to take a timeout here, regroup a little bit, make sure they got the line out that they want, have a little chat, make sure that they're responding to the power jam power start that they typically see from Seattle. The penalty count is a little bit concerning for Santa Cruz at this time. Like, you see the lead control through the first 11 jams. But if you're starting with 2, you're starting with a jammer in the box, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. So they're going to look to, regardless of what happens in this jam, at least start the next jam with a full 5 on the track.
Meanwhile, over on track 1, we've got the Los Anarchists game against Jacksonville, and at least according to the fuzzy stream that I'm seeing on my laptop, Jacksonville up 17-4. And they have just recently started that track running slightly behind this one.
Did you watch these teams play at Big O?
Yes.
Is this going about the way that you thought it would go?
It's going the way I thought it would. I think the game in at the Big O, Galaxy was playing a little more discombobulated, I guess I will say. They weren't playing as tight. This tournament seemed to be more focused and more playing together better, as they've had some coaching shifts during the season and also a little lineup changes recently. And now they got lead jammer for Rival E.
Great apex jump there in turn 1.
Santa Cruz playing the same game they've played all season.
Yes, yeah.
Santa Cruz is similar to Diamond City, a machine. They're just they have figured out the formula, and the formula works well for them, and they are continuing to play.
Exactly.
7 skate 9 to the penalty box. We've got BZ out of the box, coming out of the box right now. Rival E on the scoring pass, held up by Bonnie and Collide, and forced back. BZ called for the high block. So back to the penalty box for BZ. That's 2 jammer penalties for BZ. 3 jams in a row that have been power jams for the Galaxy girls. And 4 points up.
Only 2 blockers on the box to help her give offense here.
And Rival E forced out of bounds. Mini Mayhem also rolling out, but Rival's like, I'm just going to call it off now and not risk either a cut or having to go back through this back.
Yeah.
So an 8-0 run. Now 38-59, 21-point game. Bruno Scars to take the star. As we roll towards Jam 16 rather.
I've loved the aggression in this game so far from Bruno Scars. I feel like this game fits Bruno Scars' style really well.
Yes.
Santa Cruz can take the contact and the aggression.
Yeah, Bruno is more of the power jammer, where you get the Rival E, who's more of the squirrely dodge around people. It's an interesting contrast in the style, and I think you're absolutely right with the defensive style of Santa Cruz sometimes does lend itself to just a lot of pushing. However, that pushing can't be a back block, or you will go to the penalty box, as Bruno is right now.
I'm very sorry for jinxing you. Bruno Scars,
you
when
so
you
much.
listen to this broadcast.
Yeah.
I
No,
set
that was
you up.
Thunderdale, not me. Don't come over to my house and complain.
Great
Bees-
pull-away defense here by Seattle. Can they get through the turn, though?
BZ is out, throws a shoulder, and works past M. Norberg to pick up 4. No lead jammer anymore, so we got another minute 7 to go.
We got
I
we got
believe
another
we're making it rain.
power
It's,
jam symbol, of making it rain. I'm liking this. I'm going to take notes.
BZ forced out. Mini Mayhem knew it and went straight back to the penalty box for the back block. Mini Mayhem sitting on at least 3, possibly 4 at this point. BZ saw the jump back by 7, rolls out of bounds. Bruno Scars out of the box, and this time able to keep the feet in bounds.
Amazing, amazing footwork.
That was not
control there.
That was the triple doink, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So kudos to Bruno Scars for her doink resistance. That time the double does get around. I hope whoever's tracking the double doink stats has me down for 2 in a game, because it's an important statistic to maintain. 4 points up for Seattle, a tie on this jam, and a star pass. Mini Mayhem now with the star.
Bruno's
for
got to
Santa
go.
Cruz.
If she gets points, though, this will be the highest scoring jam so far of the game for Seattle.
Mini Mayhem hipped out. 1 point for Bruno, 3 for Mini Mayhem. 46-65 with 7:30 to go in the first period. And meanwhile, over on the other track, Los Anarchists has tied it up 19 even with Jacksonville. If you're watching in squad mode, you already know that. But if you're dedicated big screen Santa Cruz Seattle viewing, thought I'd give you that update. Coach Dev 666. Hey, Coach Dev. Would like to request that the skaters stop railing Afro in the back, and says that would be cool. Afro does have a great when she gets it in the back, standing up and grabbing it as if she was me getting out of a chair. Sometimes it's appreciated by the refs, sometimes not.
It's always one of the main things on the sidelines. The skaters come back to the bench. Oh, I'm
Getting
getting
hit
back
here,
blocked.
getting
You gotta get away from it. You gotta refocus, reset. Part of this is roller derby. The rule set change that came this year is intended to kind of protect the spine a little bit more. So it's no longer forceful contact to the center of the back, right? As long as any contact's made to the center of the back. But that also takes time as an adjustment for officials as well to adjust the rule sets. But I think overall, safety is a priority, and that's what everyone who's focused is on in this game who's out here officiating right now.
So it was a 9-9 jam in that last one, 68-47.
Seattle has quite a few H-ups.
Yes, we do have a number going on this year.
9 H-ups.
They're expelling Mini Mayhem for that back block.
Okay.
Well, speaking of back blocks, Mini Mayhem, we have heard, has been expelled for presumably an egregious back block.
And Mini Mayhem, when you listen to this broadcast, we apologize for jinxing you as well.
Exactly. With our discussion of impact to the center of the spine.
Yeah.
There you have it. So Mini Mayhem will be out, and that's a definite blow for Santa Cruz's defense. She has been solid on both defense and offense. Tryon, however, says, I don't need a fullback leading my way through. I will just power through myself and grab lead jammer. The Iron Rabbit jamming for Seattle.
It's the first lead in 5 jams for Santa Cruz. So they're going to be looking to try and take some positive momentum into the half.
And the Iron Rabbit forced out and rolls back, trying out with 4. 6 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the period. And Santa Cruz, great job again, pulling that tripod all the way to the back and holding the Iron Rabbit steady. Trying to find anything, and finally forced out of bounds.
I love how controlled the Santa Cruz tripods are. There's not a lot of over-rotation. They don't flip needlessly. They won't roll. Everything is so slow and controlled.
Yes. As was that slow roll back to the middle of the backstretch
Yep.
by both teams. And Tryon swoops around the outside.
Great footwork.
Grabs
there
the
from
4
Tryon.
points. Direction of play penalty, sending number 44, Sorry Not Sorry, to the penalty box. So we'll have a 3-on-3 pack for a moment until Alexis of Evil is released. Tryon again keeping the feet in bounds now. We have had a star pass. So M. Norberg now with the star. Iron Rabbit trying to slow Tryon down. But nothing doing. Tryon now through 12 total. This is the largest scored jam of the game for Santa Cruz. Back block sending Alexis of Evil to the penalty box. And Tryon calls off the jam before Norberg can pick up any points. 3 more. 15 up, and an official review called by the Galaxy girls. We sit 83-47. And I want to let you know about the ticket deals for the WFTDA postseason coming up. Head over to WFTDA.com/tickets if you want to get tickets for either the Cups or the international playoffs in Seattle and Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They've got a 4-pack deal on the tickets for either of the playoff locations that'll save you a chunk of change. I apparently don't have the notes, so I can't give you the exact dollar. I think it's $185 and it saves you $75 or somewhere in there. Go look. It'll tell you. There's also a code for junior skaters. If you're a junior derby participant, you can save something like half price on the ticket to get to either of those playoffs to see it in person.
9 skaters. I brought this up earlier. 9 skaters aging out this year for Seattle. Rival E already moving up to Rat City. And then we have 3 pulling double duty as well this weekend with Mob City Misfits. So
That we do, yes.
busy. You think we got a busy weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Those 3 skaters have a much busier weekend than us.
Fortunately, with the way they've laid out the tracks this year, with it doing 2 games for each division, followed by 2 games for the other division, there's no conflict of time. Last year at Champs, I know that Jacksonville and the Attack Pack, who share some skaters, had games at exactly the same time, and that threw both of their rosters off.
Yeah.
So, yes, the 3 on Galaxy that'll be playing for Mob get to play this game and then go play a game right after this against Philly. So they get double semifinals. Yesterday they had two play-in games, and again, back-to-back, just the opposite direction. Mob playing first, Galaxy playing after. So listening into the house feed, there was a request of a cut track call against the jammer for Santa Cruz. The no call will stand. Seattle has used their official review for the period. And we will see Nail Her Swift jamming against Payne Jane.
Good OR use there. If you don't use it, you lose it. You know,
Right.
5 minutes left. It's around the time when you want to really watch the jams intently. If you can find something significant, and a jammer penalty would have been significant.
Would have been sizable.
Also,
Nailed.
15-point jam for Santa Cruz. So even if you don't win the official review, it's a little bit of a momentum stopper too, hopefully.
Yeah, and you get a little extra rest for the skaters. It all works out. Naylor Swift pushing towards the front. Payne Jane caught up. Only 2 blockers on the track for the Galaxy girls. Payne Jane swinging around. Toe jammer there to meet, joined by Alexis of Evil out of the penalty box. And
Great urgency by Alexis there.
yes, like
to just
I
fly
have
out of the
got
box
to get
to
to the
bridge.
front.
As if that did not happen, that catch out front wouldn't have been possible, or this lead for Seattle.
Yes, Naylor Swift sneaking through, comes through, grabbing the jaw. The disadvantage of being a short skater against the tall team. Occasionally gets some incidental contact, or the shoulder check that starts in the chest and then moves up.
She's got the S1 helmet though.
Exactly,
With
and
the
the
face shield.
mask.
Yep.
She appreciates the not getting bopped in the nose.
Great plug there by the Seattle pivot on the line.
Deathina swinging into the middle, and Naylor just trapped at the back as the entire pack now just one giant scrum. Like twin tripods practically merged together, but not quite. So no one can give any offense. And there Naylor Swift finds a room on the outside. 4 points up, minute and a half into the jam. Clearly a little bit of extra effort, but Taylor Swift is like, I'm going to take a pause, and then I'm going to roll through. Payne Jane finally clears the pack. Naylor rolls in. Here's the cry from Coach Dilly, calls off the jam.
6 points for Seattle brings them to 53. A 30-point game.
And we've got 3:18 to go. Lugnu says, the sound is not cracking, and these announcers are doing a great job adding commentary. Well, thanks, Lugnu.
Oh, get out of town. That's my
for those of you
favorite
not
comment of
familiar
the day
with
so
the West
far.
Coast teams, I am, being on the West Coast, familiar with these West Coast teams. They have played each other many times. I think at least in 3 championships. I think they may not. I don't believe they played in 2016. Santa Cruz did a great job in their first time at championships. Part of the West Coast rise in the JRDA, as many West Coast teams hadn't been in the league in the JRDA before.
That's lead for Swervey there for Santa Cruz.
Rival E jamming for Seattle and ducking low under.
I love her speed.
That's signature Rival E, duck under the hip check move, which I saw BZ steal yesterday, which was amazing. This BZ probably is a foot taller than Rival E and still able to get low. Swervey grabs the 4, calls off the jam. In their sanctioned record over the, many last 4 or 5 years, the Seattle Derby Brats are 3-4 against the Grom Shells. One of those wins at Champs 2 years ago. One of those losses at Champs last year. Now we've got Bruno Scars against Trine, and Bruno Scars is your lead jammer.
Bruno is a handful, and especially in a scenario where you've got a short pack, right? You don't have that person out of the tripod to help funnel her in to kind of restrict her lane and her speed. So she's coming full speed into that tripod every single time, and that's so hard to catch that initial contact with a jammer that has a lower center of gravity, who can push up and has those strong, powerful legs and shoulders.
Yes, indeed. Bruno is through. We have a star pass now on the head of 152, but may not be a valid star pass. In fact, it appears that 52, who did a lap, is now going to go all the way back around to get back in position. So 4 points for Bruno. 12 total on the jam. That's the largest jam of the game so far for Seattle. Bruno Scars again bopping in, mocking jam, getting in the way. And jam called with 1 more point up.
Good call from the bench there by Dylan Botts. You know your jammers, and you know when they're starting to get a little bit tired and when it's probably a better idea to just shut it down.
Yes.
And ice that opposing jammer as opposed to try and continue to score.
So Tryon will start standing in the penalty box. The Iron Rabbit out with the star for Galaxy. Your Santa Cruz coach is coming out for an official review.
Santa Cruz, one of the bench staff talking to Tryon in the penalty box right now. Santa Cruz actually has 2 former Derby Groms on the bench. I love to see that. Love to see age-out skaters who come back and take leadership coaching roles with the team.
Indeed. Seattle also with Threatening Thunder as a coach. Also currently skating for one of the Rat City home teams. She aged out after last year.
Do you know which one?
I believe she is with Derby Liberation Front.
That's my favorite Seattle team.
Well,
everyone, all the Rat City folks will know. Mm-hmm. I have home team favorites all over roller derby. But the Derby Liberation Front and Rat City, they all know that's my favorite home team. Because I have friends who play on other Rat City home teams, and they usually get really upset. Grave Danger.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. I always get it mixed. I want to say Grave Digger or something like that. But Grave Danger. I know Lee plays for Grave Danger. Always gets mad at me. I always get trolled because DLF, they won last year.
Yes, I believe they did.
Yeah. And this year, Grave Danger has had their number a bit. But I'll be a DLF fan for life.
All right. If you're not a DLF fan, feel free to add that in the chat here on the Twitch. Just tag Thunderdill with those.
Smash the state.
I, as an occasional announcer, for Rat City. Will not state my Throttle Rockets preference out loud. Oh, wait, I just did.
Good segue. Smash the State. What's the
And,
score in this Jacksonville?
Coach Dev says Grave Danger won last year, so there you go. No, you were wrong. Let's flip over to that. What is our score on the other track? Jacksonville is now trailing Los Anarchists up 32-28. Looks like 9.5 minutes to go.
Smash the State.
And there's some standing around chatting there as well.
We got lots of anarchy-themed things.
There is a
Susan B.
lot.
Anarchy from Philly Derby. And then there's the announcer, Papa Anarchy. Yeah.
Anarchy is reigning, except for on the track where there are rules and referees to enforce said rules and then official reviews.
Yeah.
We will get word through our house announcer, Puns and Roses.
Aside from this stoppage, I feel like this has been a pretty fast half. We
It
haven't
has
had
run
a lot of OTOs.
pretty quick. Yeah, we only have 31 seconds. Well, they're getting a thumbs down, so whatever was being protested is not going to stand. And Puns will tell us, and we'll hear it, and we'll pass it along.
In defense of the Santa Cruz bench, and I'll always say this, if you don't use it, you lose it.
There you go.
So 31 seconds, Seattle has a big jam, much like Seattle did this to Santa Cruz previously, right? Even if you don't win the OR, you're hoping to kill the momentum. So you go out. Now if they come back and have a good jam to enter into the half, everything feels a lot more settled down, right?
Yes. Dev also correcting us on the number at the count. There's only 7 skaters for Galaxy aging out. 2 of them didn't make the trip. One has been injured for the season. That was Shlomo. And Anita Getcha got a sweet job opportunity for the summer and said, I'm going to take the job and not go to champs. And you can't really say no to that. It's like, you're going to college. You've got a great job that's in the field you want to do and you're going to study. Sure, take that chance.
Yeah, my apologies for that. We get
That's
the
all
20 charter.
Yes.
Yeah. The explanation for this looks very intense right now in the center.
There's a lot of hand gestures going on.
Little coach inside. Sometimes if I want to have the official review, maybe go a little bit longer. Maybe my skaters are a little bit more tired. Sometimes you break out the interpretive dance. You really start moving around.
Good. If we could see some jam skating in the middle during the official review as part of the explanation, that'd be great. All right, 31 seconds to go in the first period. 87-66 our score. Winner moves on to play the winner of Los Anarchists versus Jacksonville in the championship game. That will be tomorrow evening.
At
I have
5
a bracket
p.m.
somewhere. 5 p.m. is this
Yep.
bracket? All right.
Yep.
The loser moves into the third place game at 1 p.m. tomorrow. They will face either Los Anarchists or Jacksonville, depending on who wins. Right now, Los Anarchists ahead.
I wish
But that's
people
super
were
close.
on the dais with us right now to see how many windows you have open in your browser.
Oh, yes. Let's. I don't count, but whenever it accidentally closes, it's like, do you want to open 45 more tabs? Yes, I do.
Looks like a very defensive game so far, Los Anarchists and Jacksonville. That's pretty low scoring. 8 minutes
So we
in,
are discussing,
32-28,
there was an illegal start pass.
60
Now we're trying
points.
to figure out whether the penalty should go to the jammer or the
Somewhat surprising for me after watching and calling the Duville-Foco game yesterday because they're both teams with speed. So,
Yeah.
but we're going to get the official review here.
Yes, so
You
the
got-
official review, there apparently, it was around where the illegal star pass should have gone. And they're discussing who should get the penalty. Should it have gone to the pivot or should it have gone to the jammer? I see the jammer moving out of the penalty box, so I'm guessing it's going to end up with the pivot. However, I think the penalty will stay. So that would be the thumbs down on losing the official review. And that will give us BZ as the jammer
I'm
for
gonna need
this
a-
jam.
I'm going to need a more in-depth rundown of that.
Someone will have
because
to go
the jammer
and ask.
leaves the penalty box,
But nobody's going to sit.
but
so
no one else is going.
Yeah,
and they lose the review.
but they lost the review. I'm not clear of what's going on at all, but I do know that BZ is your lead jammer for what may well be the last jam of the half, and number 19, Loose Cannon, heads to the penalty box. Iron Rabbit caught up at the front, does finally break free. BZ corralled at the back of the pack. And another Santa Cruz blocker moving out as 7 Skate 9 moves ahead on offense. 4 points up for the Iron Rabbit. BZ forced to the infield. Coach Ima says, let's just call that jam off because it's halftime and we want to take a break. All right, 0 scoreless jam for BZ at the end, and we have a 17-point game at the half. Santa Cruz 87, Seattle Derby Brats 70. Santa Cruz this year has been a solid second-half team. So
You're warning me.
I'm warning you. We'll see how this half goes. Seattle used to be a strong second-half team, and hopefully they are as well. So we'll be back 15 minutes. You are watching the 2019 JRDA Championships live on twitch.tv, WFTDA's channel. I'm Scott Chicken.
I'm Thunderdale.
And we'll be back in 15 minutes. All right, we're back for the second half. Santa Cruz versus Seattle. The Grom Shells versus the Galaxy Girls, 87-70. It's a rematch of last year's championship game this year as a semifinal. Looking at the penalties, we got a couple in trouble. Mocking Jam and Lil Killa from the Grom Shells, each with 4. Of course, we had the expulsion of Mini Mayhem earlier. And Toe Jammer sitting on 7. 7 Skate 9 on 4. And Rival E is the lead jammer. They didn't even wait for me to finish the intro. Come on.
How rude.
Come on, refs.
Great drift from the outside to in by Rival E. Almost got that inside line. So close.
Meanwhile, number 30 jamming for Santa Cruz is Swervy. Oh, yes. Cuts the track. Or oh, no, depending on which side you're voting for. I think Swervy thinking the oh, no side more. Swervy will sit.
On the inside. Rival E down and around Little Killa. So hard for Little Killa to match that low center of gravity of Rival E, especially when she's moving with speed.
Rival E, I am sure somewhere has a limbo track set up and just practices it on skates because the ability to get low is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Rival E giving a wave forward, 7 Skate 9, pushing in to try and break the pack up, but Santa Cruz just absorbs it and blorps back together like some sort of amoeba that takes the impact and reforms immediately.
This is exactly how you want to start this second half if you're the Galaxy Girls. This momentum is bleeding over from the close of that first half now to the first jam in the second half.
And we've got Swervy out of the box and then rolled back as Rival E forced to the inside and rolled back as well. Now 7 Skate 9 comes back, gestures, hey, Lil Killa came in ahead of me. And Lil Killa's like, you're right, I did. I'll just go back out. It's okay. All of that conveniently off camera, so you didn't get to see. But Swervy finally clears the pack. Rival E says, I'm done. Let's call off the jam.
Great offense there on the inside by Little Killa to open up for her jammer.
And that is an 8-point jam. Now 78-87. We're to a 9-point game. Bruno Scars back out to jam against BZ.
4-4 start for each team. Penalty box is empty.
BZ forced out to the infield. Lil Killa and BZ, the two skaters going to age out this year for Santa Cruz, so they're in their final championships. And BZ celebrating with the lead jammer.
Some Gumby ankles there from BZ
Right.
getting that lead.
Some of the things that these skaters do with their ankles, I'm like, my foot would be turned around and facing the wrong direction if I did that. Bruno Scars clears the pack. BZ calls off the jam. Did collect all 4. Takes us to 91-78.
Trying up for Santa Cruz here up against the Iron Rabbit for the Galaxy Girls.
Winner of this game again faces the winner of our pink track game between Los Anarchists and Jacksonville. Los Anarchists at the half leading by 4, 45-41. Tryon pushing to the front, held up, but does get the lead designation. And finally breaks free. Iron Rabbit rolled back behind the pack to pass the jammer line. 7 Skate 9 trying to open something on the inside. Cut track called.
That was amazing teamwork there between the Iron Rabbit and 7 Skate 9.
Oh, and then Rabbit cuts the track as well. Dragged the foot out of bounds on the outside run, so no lead jammer anymore. Quick jammer swapperoo.
Jammer penalties tend to come in bunches because it's that adrenaline, that rush. And it creates a little bit of panic in a situation when she was fully in control, you know?
Yeah.
It's sometimes frustrating as a coach because you don't even really have to focus so much on you beating that wall. You have 4 blockers to help you beat them. But
Tryon needed no blockers to beat that wall, swinging around the outside. Star pass from Iron Rabbit to 7 skate 9. 7 rolling back, still has the star in hand, trying to figure out how am I getting past this pack. Almost there, but a little killer waiting on the inside edge, and that allows Santa Cruz to roll to the front. Meanwhile, Tryon contending with the Iron Rabbit and annihilate her at the front.
Really smart move there earlier on from 7 skate 9. When the pack was stretched front and Santa Cruz had the bridge, she backed up trying to induce that Santa Cruz tripod to come back and block her out of play. They didn't come back because they're a smart team as well, but I always love to see that kind of intelligence, that jammer intelligence from a pivot.
Yes, direction of play called, sending the Iron Rabbit to the penalty box as a blocker. 7 skate 9 comes through and jam is called off. 7 collecting 3 points. So on your score at home sheet, credit those 3 to number 789. That takes us to 107 to 81 as Tryon putting up 16.
The highest scoring jam so far of this game. And a tough one because it's such a momentum swing. They pulled that great track cut, and then in the end you end up with a 16-3 jam, right?
Yep. Number 13, Naylor Swift jamming for the Galaxy girls and jumps up the inside to grab lead jammer. Payne Jane with the star for Santa Cruz, forcing through the middle. Only 2 blockers on the track for the Galaxy girls, 3 for Santa Cruz. Naylor almost clear, but again, the Santa Cruz waterfall to the front very quick as they are back to full strength. Payne Jane rolled back. Afro Jamurai and Deathina teaming up.
I like this call by Seattle to run this jam a little bit longer to get these blockers out of the box, but they got to ensure no one else goes or it doesn't pay off.
Naylor almost room on the inside, forced out of bounds by number 80, Sunkissed. Meanwhile, Payne Jane fully through with 4 points. Naylor getting some offensive assistance from Norberg, but Santa Cruz doesn't seem to care.
Seattle loses its pivot to the penalty box.
And Iron Rabbit trying to come back, but caught up now. Rolls back as Norberg holding at the front, and 4 more up for Payne Jane. Naylor Swift calls off the jam, only collecting 3. Excellent work on the defense by Santa Cruz, keeping that 1 blocker ahead the whole time. 115 to 84 is our score. 22.5 to go.
Tough decision to make there because in that jam to start, they did have pack disadvantage. So in hindsight, maybe you gamble and you just start the next jam with pack disadvantage. Throw out a more physical jammer who's a quicker lead like a Bruno Scars, but all of these things in hindsight.
Exactly. 180 Rival E jamming against BZ. BZ rolled back. Bantam Phantom was just a little bit too far back. Ended up out of play, so BZ able to come in ahead. And BZ almost through on the inside. Forced out by Annihilate her as Santa Cruz just continuing that lockdown at the front. Excellent work. Loose cannon on the outside. Joined at the front by Mocking Jam, and BZ finally clear as your lead jammer. Bonnie and Collide also jumping in and with the force out this time on the rollback. And BZ, this run says, I'm just going to go with the physical style.
BZ is relentless.
You are presenting me with a legal contact area. I will accept that.
Yeah.
BZ going airborne, jumps, lands it out of bounds, rolls back behind. Rival East still working on the initial pass. Has actually now passed the star off. I believe that's Deathina with the star. As I see an extra cover underneath. So Deathina pushing to the front. trying to work through. 8 points so far for BZ. Taking Santa Cruz to 123.
Dathina is out. It'll be interesting to see her if Santa Cruz runs this a little bit long to try and spring some blockers. It looks like they did.
Dathina also says, I can play the physical game too. I'm generally a blocker. I'll be more than willing to take you on. She is in danger of that hat falling off, however.
This is Kayla Gaska-esque right here. This is Kayla Gaska-esque.
Annihilate her, swinging in on the offense to break free, and a big shoulder from 152, mocking jam. And then Dathina tripped over by most everyone else on the track. And a little slow to get up is Dathina, and also I see a Santa Cruz skater, BZ, down on the floor, and we will have an official timeout. 4 points up for BZ. Dathina will be checked by the medics and roll back to the bench. I think that was just a case of getting bumped a couple of times and then having two of her teammates land on top.
One thing I love about junior roller derby, and especially in a venue like this, so many grandparents, aunts, uncles, family, but anytime a skater's getting up, you hear the whole venue. Everyone is cheering. Everyone's being supportive. There's been a good environment this weekend, which I know is part of the JRDA Code of Conduct, but, that's what you hope for in events like this.
Indeed. Tofuria742 asks, where is Mini Mayhem? Mini Mayhem was expelled in the first half for a egregious back block and was also high on penalties. I think I said it had 5 prior to that call.
Hey, Pete.
So that is where Mini Mayhem is. Meanwhile, we have an official timeout, and I can tell you more about your playoffs and championships. I mentioned that you can get tickets for the playoffs and championships. There are only 3,000 tickets total available for the 2019 championships for WFTDA live in Montreal. That's November 15th through 17th, so don't miss your chance. Pick up your tickets at WFTDA.com/tickets. And while you're there, if you want to go to either playoff locations, we've got Winston-Salem, North Carolina, September 6th through 8th. That's hosted by Greensboro Roller Derby. Or come out to my neck of the woods, Seattle, Washington, for the international playoffs hosted by Rat City Roller Derby, September 13th through 15th. You can get a 4-pack of 3-day tickets for $175. That saves you $85 were you to buy them individually. And if you have a junior, or you are a junior and you're going to buy tickets to one of these things, there is a code at WFTDA.com/tickets where you can save money there as well. So all sorts of ways to see great derby and also save a little money. Our head ref talking to the coaches just in the lower left of the corner, right next to the JRDA logo. Quick update on the other track. Los Anarchists still in the lead now, a couple of minutes into the second half, 49-41. At least that's what it showed before the video froze on my laptop.
I've seen the same thing. Still low-scoring game from that track. I am surprised. 93 total points, and they're over 31 minutes. So
Los Anarchists tend to play a low-scoring, super defense-heavy game. Like they don't in the games that I've watched them this season, they don't rank up. They don't rack up multiple passes. They'll get 4 and then they'll stop, and then they'll just continue to do that and shut you down. So Jacksonville getting 41. Jacksonville's got a solid offensive game and also very good at running ahead and staying away from the pack.
Yep.
All right, coming back with Go-Go, jamming against the number 62 Tryon. Santa Cruz with 1 blocker in the box. Seattle with 1 blocker bridging between the 2 packs. Toe Jammer sitting on 6 penalties. So needs to be careful. Might be why I'm going to choose the bridge position. Stay out of trouble. Provide a service to my team. Maybe do a little offensive attempt there when things get close enough together.
Santa Cruz blocker about to be released from the penalty box here.
Tryon forced out and back. Go-Go, 1 to beat, grabs lead Jammer. 3rd lead of the half for the Galaxy Girls. The team's even now, 3-3 on lead Jammer. Filipina Fire sent to the penalty box. Go-Go back engaged as Tryon swings around the outside and takes his shoulder. Now contending with Toad Jammer and A. Rashid at the front. Santa Cruz breaking off a blocker to bridge. Gogo continues to push, and finally Tryon is free. And Gogo trying to call off the jam, I think managed to get her hands to her hips. They were sort of pinned by other skaters. Gogo,
that was a sandwich.
yes, Gogo does get 2, takes the Galaxy Girls to 89, Santa Cruz 127. Santa Cruz sending out number 30, Swervy, to jam against Rival E. Swervy cuts to the inside, bumped out of bounds by 7 skate 9. Has both teams now back to full strength. Rival E looking on the outside as everyone regroups, and Filipina fires straight back to the penalty box.
These tall jammers for Santa Cruz, they put so much pressure on your defense because they constantly stress that inside line. And even if you have them on the line and you're trying to get that hit out, they can lean back in on that tripod, and it is so hard to get that final push to push them out.
Rival E able to break free of the pack and force the call off, so a 0-0 jam. 17.5 to go, 127-89. Is our score. BZ back out to jam for Santa Cruz. Bruno Scars with the star for Seattle. Both packs jockeying for position. Who gets to be in front and who does not? BZ says, I will just use one skate to get through the pack, thank you. Beautiful spin move. Keeping that toe down and just spinning around, and this time going on the outside to grab 4 points. And
5.
Bruno Scars to the penalty box.
Sugar smacks there from Santa Cruz drawing that cut.
So power jam, Grom shells 4 on the board so far. And BZ looking for more. Oh, cuts the track. Must have gotten the foot out of bounds. On that, again, a pirouette with the toe tapping down.
Again,
So
jammer
BZ and Bruno.
penalties-
Bruno's like, wait, don't I get to go? Yes, I do. All right.
Jammer penalties, they just come in bunches.
Yes. Now Bruno Scar still, I believe, on the initial pass. So working through, takes a shoulder from number 90, but that is a forearm penalty. Forearm on Yeedy. Bruno has completed the initial. Yeedy not in foul trouble in the first half. Nor, I believe, was A. Rashid, who also picking up a penalty on that pass and deposited to the outside. 101 BZ.
Filipina Fire is a great matchup for BZ in this game. She can take the contact and she can give it back just as big.
Bruno Scars bumped and chooses to recycle out of bounds. Take another shot and pushed off. As BZ working. A. Rashid back to the penalty box. Second penalty of the jam, I believe, and Bruno Scars finally through with 4 points. As the jam comes to a close, there's another 4 up for Santa Cruz. So an 8-4 2-minute jam. Santa Cruz 135, Seattle 93, and we got a team timeout called by the Seattle Derby Brats Galaxy Girls.
I like this timeout. It's getting a little bit away from them here, but this is still close enough. They've
Right,
not
it's
on runs in this game.
You're the end of the third quarter.
Yep.
You've got one and an official review to use in the next 15 minutes. Give everyone a little breather.
Yep.
Regroup.
You've got one
Take
Santa
some time.
Cruz skater has already been expelled from this game. It's going to wear on their bench a little bit.
Yep, Santa Cruz with 2 in the box right now. Seattle with 1.
Pack advantage, turn this into a lead. Try and get the momentum back in your favor.
Yes, indeed. So this is junior roller derby postseason, the adult postseason for the WFTDA also coming up, and you can watch that all from the comfort of your couch. If you head over to WFTDA.tv and click on the Watch Passes link, if you enter the code WFTDA Roby-Doby, you can save 20% on the season combo pass that gets you all 6 tournaments. the 2 playoffs, the 1 championships, the 3 cups, all of it. And save 20%. That's like $72 in American money. Please adjust for your local currency. Iron Rabbit forced out of bounds, and Payne Jane is rolling back to see if we can get that baby eaten.
My favorite.
And the pack says, well, we'll just come get you then.
Defensive jamming. Great move here by Payne Jane.
Yep, and a good work for Rabbit to just not bite.
Yep.
Like said, okay, you want to go that far? I'll go halfway, and then the pack's going to come try and catch up, and you're going to have to go, and we'll just all race around and be back where we were before. Rabbit's forced out to the inside, kind of grabbing the shoulder and passing the star off, so off to 7 skate 9. 7 skate 9 is now through. Not lead jammer, but is clear. Lead jam still, I believe, available. We have not seen Payne Jane exit the pack yet, and Payne Jane caught by the Iron Rabbit.
Lead is still open.
Former jammer swinging over and swings over again. Does not get her out. Payne Jane, your lead jammer. 7 skate 9 on a scoring run. Payne Jane content to let that run go and add some points of her own, I'm guessing. As both teams at full strength. Forearm penalty sending Rashid to the box. May be getting in some foul trouble. Has had at least 3 in the last couple of jams. And Payne Jane finally calls off the jam. A 4-4 battle.
Wonder how long they were going to let that jam run out.
Yeah.
Because you have on the Seattle side, Iron Rabbit very clearly with a shoulder injury.
Yeah,
So-
she got bumped hard and was really grabbing that as she came out. So we'll see what that does for the jammer rotation for Seattle. But then, even after that, doing a great job getting in the
Yes.
way and just like, I'm going to play the hip check. I'm not going to use my shoulder at all. I'm just going to be in the way. Positional block.
She's a competitor. She's a competitor.
She is. So is Tryon, and Tryon is lead jammer. Go-Go with the star for the Galaxy Girls forced out of bounds, and now both jammers rolling back to the jammer line. Have a question on Twitch what the JRDA WFTDA promo code is. You can find that at WFTDA.com/tickets. It is right there on the screen, I think, when you go to the ticketing site.
Roby-doby.
That's the Watch Pass.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
Watch
okay.
Pass is different. This is the live going to the games.
Go-Go out of the pack now for the Galaxy Girls. Big cheer comes up from the Galaxy Girls bench. Yeah, Go-Go.
Indeed, Go-Go new to the team this year. One of the skaters that had been on the Ultraviolets charter and moved up to the Galaxy Girls. Along with Filipina Fire and I believe Naylor Swift, also new to the squad. Had a couple of transfers in this year, so some new blood on the team.
They're all doing
In addition
amazing.
to the age outs. And finally, Tryon is through with 4 points and calls off the jam. That takes Santa Cruz to 143. Seattle still at 97. Creative Stitches, it's Roby-Doby with an R, and that's the Watch Pass code. WFTDA Roby-Doby. To save 20% on the postseason combo pack, gets you tickets to North America Cup West and East, those August 9th through 11th and 23rd through 25th. You get both playoffs September 6th through 8th and 13th through 15th. You get the Continental Cup Europe from the 5th through the 6th of October and championships in Montreal. You don't, however, get to see, well, you might get to see Rival E. She is now a member of the Rat City All-Stars, and they will be in a playoff game. We'll see if she's on the charter, but she is lead jammer right now, so that's something. Number 101, BZ, jamming for Santa Cruz. Rival with the no pass, no penalty. BZ avoids Norberg and comes through with 4.
Great pull-away offense there. Or defense, sorry, from Santa Cruz. Good point protection. They
And
may have won that jam. Let's
they
see.
did, 4-3.
4-3.
Takes Galaxy to an even 100. And 147 for Santa Cruz. 103. I missed 3 points on the last jam.
Last time these teams played, Big O.
Much
Santa
different
Cruz
scenario.
won 210-83.
Yes.
Seattle's already added another 20 points on, and they've given up 63 less so far. So
Oh, back block called on Bruno Scars, so power jam for Swervy. Swervy currently held up. The offense coming to assist. The Seattle defense rotating, rolling to the front. Although Santa Cruz catching a goat, they've got Deathina trapped at the back trying to get through, and at the front you see the three-pack, and now coming forward on the offense, number 80. That is Sunkissed trying to break the jammer free, and it works perfectly.
It does, but she picks up the pack destruction penalty. Because Pack was in the back and she skated up to split the pack, she gets the destruction penalty. I've never been a coach to say a penalty was worth it. That would be one that you could potentially argue.
Destroy an overall pack, but also destroyed the tripod to let the jammer free.
Yes.
So I'll take 30 seconds for that. What the heck? I'm not a coach, so I can say that with impunity.
If you have that goat in the back, people refer to it as a snapback. You never want to skate more than 8 feet. If you skate more than 8 feet, you risk that split pack and you risk that pack destruction penalty.
Bruno Scars out of the penalty box and finally through. Now swinging through on a scoring pass to grab 4. Swervy calls off the jam after one blocker is freed. Pivot for Santa Cruz sitting in the penalty box. Santa Cruz gets 3, so we had a 4-3 Santa Cruz favor the last jam. We have a 3-4 Seattle favor this jam. And we're all even at 150 to 107.
I am wondering if Santa Cruz will move to a strategy of running some of their leads longer just to kill clock.
Right, because again, they're
the only thing that Seattle can use to get back into this game.
Yes, and Santa Cruz now, again, looking forward to tomorrow. That's the main goal of all of these teams, the ranking points, immaterial for next season's pro season. So get the win and call it good. 1-8-0 Rival E lead jammer. And trying number 62 jamming for Santa Cruz. Rival E almost with the foot dragged, so back out of bounds and rolls back. 152 Mocking Jam with that shot. Mocking Jam's been doing some stand-up defensive work in this game.
Yes.
Now rolling up Yeedy to provide the offense, but trying forced out of bounds. Rival also out, and hey, let's all have a backward skate. Oh, Tryon's not going to the back roll back. Tryon's going to the penalty box. I missed the call.
One of those scenarios.
Whatever it is, it's 30 seconds.
You really want Seattle, you want your blockers to stop rolling back.
How Rivalry survived both of those shots, I do not know. But the feet stayed in bounds, and the points are on the board. That was crazy talk.
Call coming from the bench, Dylan Botts. Rivalry, you got to go, you got to go. Got to make up points here.
Yep, ducks
amazing
under the hip of Bonnie and Collide to grab 4 more. Speed a factor definitely as Santa Cruz was racing. Now trying back out of the box and pushing through. Rival tries to jump up. Falls down and slides through, gets back up and out. No pack called. Tryon completes the initial. And Rival E calls off the jam. No points on that run as she was bumped and landed out of bounds prior to passing anyone.
The apex jump was a little telegraphed.
Just a touch.
Yeah.
Coach Botts out to, Dylan Botts out to chat with the referee, and we're going to have an official review.
If he's got something good, I really like this official review. You win it, you got another one, 6 minutes and 38 seconds left. From the standpoint of momentum, a little questionable. You just had a really good jam. But again, you get to this point in coaching where it's that gray area where you start to feel like if I have something even decent, I want to try right now because the next couple jams, I may be sitting there thinking, I got nothing.
Right.
You don't want to go into the center
you don't want to...
with absolutely nothing.
Yes.
You rarely win those ones.
Pending the official review, we will have BZ and Bruno Scars lined up to jam.
Seattle just needs a Ranjon jam. Sandrine Ranjon. Put up, what was it, 40, 45?
Something like that.
Yeah, playoffs before.
Somehow the way that that Santa Cruz is playing, I doubt that's possible.
Well, hey.
Just a doubt. But you can always hope.
You never know. You never know. I don't know what that would work out to without the jammer lap point, but it would be close to enough.
It would be a large number.
Even just
that is true.
the Marge Simpson Let's open this pit up. 20-point jam right now would go a long way.
Speaking of jams over on track number 1, Los Anarchists now up 67-59 with 15 minutes to go in that game. Winner of that game plays the winner of this game for the championships tomorrow afternoon. That game at 5 p.m. Third place game will take place at 1 p.m. between the losers of these two games. Let's see what is coming up next on this track. We will shift over to the Open Division semifinals, where we will see Diamond City taking on the Attack Pack right here. And over on the pink track, you will see Mob City playing Philly. All right, Honey Badger, the alt ref, coming over to chat with our venue announcer, Puns and Roses. Stowe Nasty chatting with the coaches. And we'll get the word at some point.
If I had to guess, I would have to guess that Dylan Butts is trying to free at least one of these blockers.
Yes, he does have
from
2
the box.
blockers in the penalty box. They seem to be enjoying themselves there, but they are still sitting in the box, and they both continue to sit there.
Yeah. We got the thumbs down, the gladiator, thumbs down.
And yes, slightly overhearing the venue announcer, it was about a penalty. It is penalty upheld, and the Galaxy girls have used their official review, but Bruno Scars, well, no pass, no penalty, not lead jammer, but is out and on a thing, and a high block. High block.
2 minutes.
2-minute jam. No lead. Bruno Scars on the scoring pass. BZ sitting in the penalty box for 30 seconds in Santa Cruz. Again, great job. Just speed up the pack. Stay ahead, stay ahead, stay ahead. Stretch it out now. And Bruno's feet slide out. Doesn't feel it. Called for the cut track. Saw that. Blocker knew it and rolled back. Didn't even need to because Bruno was momentum was carrying her forward. So BZ is freed.
Who's got the better penalty kill?
Yes, BZ on the initial pass. Number 80, Sunkist, trying to break up the tripod, but rolled through and the arms came up. BZ bumped over, and Afro Jammer now heading to the penalty box. As the Galaxy girls regroup, but BZ now done. Bruno Scars trying to sneak that star through and then pulls it back at the last minute and cuts around the inside. I think Deathina even expected to get that, and all was like, I'm closing my hands, zoop, out it comes.
If you're Santa Cruz, you almost allow it because she has it off her head, right? You burn another 10 seconds with her.
True.
Just making that lap. She makes up
Bruno
for,
pushes full and
oh, no.
called for illegal contact. Guessing made contact with the down skater.
Got to trust your defense here.
Yes, 4 points up for BZ, 8 total. Bruno did have 4 prior to the cut track penalty earlier assessed, so not a totally scoreless jam right now for the Galaxy girls. And BZ held up at the back by Afro Jamurai and then rolled up, but 304 Ella Delaney trying to knock Afro out of the way. BZ grabs a couple more. I see 8 total up for Seattle, taking them to 123. We do have some conferring with the scorekeepers and the jam refs. We got 2 more for Santa Cruz on that last pass, so those will come in a second, I believe. There we go, 160 Santa Cruz. We're still waiting on the final discussion of the Seattle points. Bruno starting the jam out in the penalty box, and number 72, Payne Jane, will jam for Santa Cruz.
We got a little break here to discuss points. Good segue to talk about the great officiating this weekend. Ninja coming over to the dais immediately.
Yeah,
down
like,
2
hey,
points.
I'm missing some points.
Not waiting, to push things into the next jam, knowing this is an important game for both these teams. All the games here, JRDA Champs, very important game. Making sure everything is correct before we start this next jam.
We are back.
All right, back for the power start. It's only a 5-point run, so 4 and a 1 before Seattle takes them to 120. And out first, Payne Jane, lead jammer. Bruno Scar's now standing in the penalty box. 4-on-4 in. Bruno with the star off and is calling immediately for the pivot. And Em Norberg being held away by Lil Killa. Someone was just asking, where's Lil Killa? Well, Lil Killa's, they were saving her to get in the way of the pivot.
Probably on 5 or 6 at this point.
Could be. Stop block called on 911. Annihilate her. And Norberg now with the star in the hand, but has to hand it back because it was not a legal pass. Looks like Bruno favoring the arm, that left arm, and may have some shoulder issue going on there because asking the blocker to grab the other side. As Norberg now has the star on and is working through. Payne Jane forced out and rolled back. Bantam Phantom with another juke backwards. Annihilate her out of the penalty box. Bringing the Galaxy girls back to full strength. Santa Cruz, one blocker, Bonnie and Collide sitting in the penalty box.
7 skate 9 has been everywhere. Every single time she's on the track, she's a force. Just an unbelievable jam right now.
Yeah, 7, one of the OG Seattle Derby brats, has been skating since she was probably 8 or 9 with the league. Got a number of skaters, a couple aging out this year, who have been with the league for a very, very long time. Some of them choosing to take a break after this season. Like, I've had enough of Derby for a while. I'm going to maybe go to college, maybe take a few years off.
It's a discussion that I've had with some of the junior coaches this weekend about the sport going forward, the sustainability of junior programs, integrating juniors into adult programs, and then also just a lot of these juniors have been skating for 8-9 years, already have ACL, PCL, MCL injuries. You know what that's going to look like.
Right, and concussion's an issue.
Yes.
Especially with the young brain, and you're seeing Bruno Scars heading over to the medics tent, again favoring that left shoulder a bit. So we will have Tryon jamming for Santa Cruz against Rival E. Rival E held up at the back. Tryon pushing to the front. Rival almost clear, and yes, gets past number 80. Sunkissed with the last-ditch effort, but Rival E is your lead jammer. Rival E's had lead 4 times in this half. The higher percentage for the Galaxy girls on the half. Tryon almost through, and yes, stretches the pack out far enough. Now the Galaxy girls moving back into offensive mode to break Rival E free. Do so, and Rival E calls off the jam. So one
timeout from the Seattle bench. This is their last stoppage. We'll stop the clock at 56 seconds left. 168, 124 for Santa Cruz.
So 1, possibly 2 jams, but I'm pretty certain not enough time with 56 seconds plus a 2-minute jam to close that gap of 168 to 124. I won't say it's impossible. I will say it's highly unlikely, especially given the way that Santa Cruz has been playing. Yep. Seattle also, I'm seeing Toe Jammer out of skates, so clearly Toe Jammer fouled out earlier, and we missed the exit of the track.
Santa Cruz has given up 1 double-digit jam.
Yeah, Santa Cruz's defense all season long and going into last year, very tight, and just those tripods and the ability to waterfall and roll and roll and roll and roll to the front. Flux121 asks, has anyone tried buying the WFTDA postseason watch pass with the discount code? It's not working for me. Well, it worked for me last night, so make sure you're getting that in. WFTDA Roby Doby, ROBYDOBY. If the mods are listening, there is a code they can put in that gives you the link and the code. So Creative Stitches had added it in but had it spelled wrong, so it's a Roby with an R, Doby with a D, both of them with a B as the 4th letter.
Rat City has a nice tweet up on their RCRG account. After practice this morning, former Seattle Derby brats Bella and former Santa Cruz Grom Cap hang out to watch the JRDA Rock semifinal between their former teams.
Nice.
Good thing they're now teammates at Rat.
All right, we got 54 go-go on a power start as Tryon in the penalty box for something that happened in the last jam.
Your guess is as good as ours.
Could be anything. Go-Go, one to beat. Unfortunately, that one to beat is Sugar Smacks, and Sugar Smacks slows things down just enough for the rest of the defense to roll ahead. And now the offense takes over. Go-Go free, lead Jammer 35 seconds of game time left. Santa Cruz will move on to the final tomorrow in the 5 p.m. game. Seattle will play for third earlier in the afternoon. Go-Go hopping through for 4. As Tryon out, jumps through, and as you said, the Visa card of the team, 7 skate 9, everywhere you want to be if you're a jammer.
Yeah.
There to stop it. Go-Go forced out and rolls back. 5 seconds on the game clock now. 4-3, ticking down. This will be our final jam of the game. And Tryon is out. Go-Go through for 4 more. We are now on jam clock alone. Coach Dylan giving the go-ahead.
Santa Cruz with 2 in the box. Seattle with 1.
And Go-Go trying to get low and duck under Sunkist to mimic the Rival E move, but Sunkist able to get low just enough to catch the hip and force it out. Tryon down and pushed.
Both benches standing right now. I love this.
Yes, Go-Go is out 8-0, our current score on the jam. Go-Go almost across the middle, but bumped out of bounds. But there was a penalty involved, so Go-Go cuts the track. It was not the right skater. There was another who was in front that also got out of the way, so we'll have 17 seconds left of the jam. And Tryon will have another chance to get through, but forced out and rolled back. As the Santa Cruz bench counting down the game. Santa Cruz will move on to defend their title. 4 points up for Santa Cruz, taking them to a final score of 172. Seattle Derby Brats with 11 on the last jam, unofficially 135. Well, that was a solid game.
These two teams played Big O in May, a 127-point win for Santa Cruz. Today, 37 points.
Yep, and Santa Cruz playing the same game they've played all season. I think the Galaxy girls stepped it up a bit for this tournament. They played much better against Rose yesterday than they did against Rose at the Big O. And again, a stronger standing today. So they will take on either Los Anarchists or Jacksonville in the third place game tomorrow. Santa Cruz gets the other. Right now, Los Anarchists is leading 78-66 over on the pink track, rather. But that's been a lovely game. Thank you for joining.
I love the parity 1 through 4.
Yeah.
This is great. This is the 1 seed and 4 seed, and it was a very close game.
It is. It was a super close game. Stick around here on the yellow track. Coming up next, your semifinal in the Open Division, Diamond City Miners versus the Attack Pack. You are watching the 2019 JRDA Championships live from Loveland, Colorado, brought to you by Twitch.tv, WFTDA's channel. And we'll sign off now. Dylan, it's been a lovely time. Thank you. I'm Scott Chicken. He's Thunder Dill.